All right, good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully you all are doing well. This fine Saturday afternoon. Hey, Frog, you haven't missed anything yet. We're just getting the guys loaded in. Oh, yeah, so we got another fun-filled day of OSUT planned here. Stuck in bed with a broken foot. That's no fucking good. Especially considering shit like that, there isn't really much they can do for you. I didn't tell you to move, so take your hands off the keys and stop fucking fidgeting around. Hey, Smith. We got 2 out of the 3 in here. Should be a 4th, but he, I think had some mod issues. and then not very smartly deleted the message that had all the fucking mods. Yeah, small class. Should be bigger, but, you know, not bright people, not bright. Hey, Assault. Oh, now we have all three. Sergeant Myers, what's the gig with Private Quinn? Roger. Hey, Sphero. Afternoon, Streets. Yeah, that was a dumbass having the updated version of CVA. Is not what we're running. Alright, these fucking cocksucks got 5 minutes to get their shit squared away. Hey, Vert. Well, the new training map isn't really any different than the one we currently have. Just streamlined a little bit more. Alright, Private Segan, what's the ETA on getting your CBA scored away? Private Segan. Am I talking to my fucking self?
Yes, I'm having trouble how to delete the CBA, the old CBA.
You don't know how to delete the folder.
It's not there in the ArmA tree.
Probably because you're subscribed to it on Steam would be my guess, which means you need to go into your Steam subscribe files and unsubscribe from it. Alright, I'm fucking done waiting. Sergeant Myers,
Yes, sir, Sergeant.
take Private Segan into Classroom 2, get him squared away within the next 5 mics. If he's not squared away, then recycle.
Roger that. Private, so you can jump down one room.
Got it.
Alright, the other two of you, we're going to get this going. So, first and foremost, my name is First Sergeant Brewer. You can address me as First Sergeant Brewer or First Sergeant. Nothing more, nothing less. Sometimes you will hear guys refer to me as Top. You haven't earned that fucking right yet. So, welcome to OSUT Day 1. This is one station unit training. Here we will teach you the basics of being an infantryman within the 506. We are going to give you the critical skills that you need to do that job. Every single person that comes into this unit is an infantryman first and foremost. Does not matter what MOS they end up going to, everyone is trained as an infantryman. We're going to teach you the 5 vital skills to be an infantryman. Shoot, move, communicate, survive, and sustain. Each day, you are going to learn something new that builds upon what you have learned the days previous. Today, the first thing we're going to teach you is how to communicate. We're going to teach you how to set up your radios and how to actually talk on those radios. Now, if at any point in time you have a question related to what we are currently talking about or something completely unrelated, then you will type a Q in chat as you see there. If you have a comment, you will type a C as you see in chat there. If I ask a question that requires a simple yes or no response, I expect a fucking answer from everyone. So if I ask if you have any questions and the answer is no, then I respect a negative response. If the answer is yes, then I expect a response of yes. Now, as I said, today we are going to teach you how to communicate, how to actually talk on the radio. There is going to be a lot of classroom time today. I highly recommend you take notes. Those notes will come in handy on your 4th and final day after your FTX, because after your field training exercise, we will critique your performance and you will then take an oral quiz, all based around questions that you should have the knowledge of from the previous 3 days of OSUT. Now, at this point in time, do either of you have any questions?
No, First Sergeant.
Out fucking standing. Alright, we are going to head from here over to the classroom. When we get to the classroom, before you enter the classroom, you are going to stop, open your inventory, and stow your cover. Your cover is your fucking hat. Once you get inside the classroom, you're going to turn to your left. There's going to be a set of boxes under cargo nets. Inside those boxes are going to be ANPRC 152 short-range radios. You are each going to grab one. You will then move up to the front of the classroom and take a seat. Is that clear?
Yes, First Sergeant.
Alright, follow me. Will be nice to have that fixed. Sit down bullshit. Didn't take that long to grab a fucking radio.
You alright, Private? You having trouble?
I'm not able to. I'm trying to select the radio and it's not going into my.
You can drag it into your, you should have a radio slot at the bottom of your inventory. You can drag it over to it. Or if you just right click on it, it should work.
Yeah, they right click or.
Can you drag it to your shirt, to your uniform?
I've been trying that as well.
Sergeant Loster, grab a radio, throw it on the ground, see if you can pick it up.
Copy that for certain. Here, look behind you. There you go. It should be Ace Interact to use the chair.
Roll and win.
Yep.
Not popping up as a selection. I have.
Try taking a step back a little bit. You might be too close to it. And then try using your interaction key.
Ace Interact by default is your Windows key, not your fucking scroll wheel.
There you
go. Yeah, 10 man, only 2 at the moment. Should be more, but people are fucking retarded and don't know how to work mods. Alright, like we may have Mr. Segan catching up with us now, so we're going to stand by for a quick couple of mics, see if his shit's squared away. If not, we will continue on. Oh yeah, it is, Tin Man, but oftentimes they're fucking retarded and will go download new mods or fucking subscribe to shit on Steam between recruit training and OSUT, which is exactly why they're told not to do that. But stupid people be fucking stupid. I mean, in what, almost 3 years, I have yet to think it's a goddamn difficult process. I always got some stupid ass fucking Xmas shit. That's an extra mod. Alright, Mr. Segan is not going to be joining us because he is incapable of squaring away fucking mods. So, we're going to get this going. First thing we're going to go over when it comes to the radios, first and foremost, is phonetics. Right? We use the phonetic numeral system as well as phonetic numerals. Phonetic numerals as well as the phonetic alphabet. Now, phonetic numerals, pretty simple. They're all the exact same as your normal everyday numerals, with the exception to 3 of them. Those are the numbers 3, 5, and 9. 3, 5, and 9 pronounced phonetically is tree, fife, niner. Right, so tree, as in the thing with fucking leaves on it, fife, F-I-F-E, and niner. Everybody knows that one. Now, phonetic numerals are not used all the time. Alright, phonetic numerals are something you use when someone did not hear you clearly with one of those numerals, then you can say it phonetically. Now moving on to the phonetic alphabet. We use the NATO phonetic alphabet. Pretty simple. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, so on and so forth. Alright, you've probably heard them, all of them before. So, again, we use the NATO phonetic alphabet. We do not use any type of civilian phonetic alphabet. Now moving on from there. One of the biggest strengths we have when it comes to the radios and our communication is the usage of procedure words and phrases, or pro words. This is a way for us to pass a large amount of information without saying very much. Right? It allows us to achieve brevity. Right? In layman terms, saying a lot of shit without saying a lot of shit. The thing you have to keep in mind when you talk on the radio, there could be at any point in time 3 to 8 other fucking people that need to talk on that same radio frequency at the same time. So brevity is very important. So the first pro word we're going to go over is break. Break simply means I hereby indicate separation of this text from the other portions of the message. Alright, so break essentially is a period in a sentence. If you're sending a long message on the radio and you need to stop to take a breath, and you say break, release your transmit key, take a fucking breath, rekey, and then continue sending your transmission. Pretty simple. Now break is also used in another form, and that is 3 rapid successions. So break, break, break. If someone comes across a radio frequency saying break, 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 it means break all communications on that frequency. I have priority traffic. So when they say break, 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 it will usually be followed up by either priority traffic or emergency traffic. And yes, there is a difference. Priority traffic means it has priority, over anything else being said on that radio frequency, with exception to emergency traffic. So if someone were to come over the radio frequency and say break, 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 priority traffic, and start sending their message, and then somebody else comes over that frequency and says break, 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 emergency traffic, the guy with the priority traffic will shut the fuck up and let that emergency traffic flow, because it is of higher priority. But no matter who is talking on that radio frequency, when someone says break, 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 they will immediately release their transmit key and stop talking. That is an immediate symbol to cease all communications. Next, we have correction. Correction simply means an error has been made in this transmission. Transmission will continue with the last word correctly sent. Alright, so if you're sending a message and you fumble fuck over the words, don't go, just say correction, go back to where you were last correct, and continue on with your transmission. Next one we have is disregard. Disregard is just as it sounds. You disregard it. You act as if you never heard it. Next, we have the pro word of over. Over means this is the end of my transmission to you, and a response is necessary. Go ahead and transmit. You will hear that word a lot, because anytime you are talking on the radio, you will say over at the end of your transmission unless that transmission is done. That transmission is done, you will then use the pro word of out. Out means this is the end of my transmission to you, and a response is not necessary or expected. Understand that they mean two very different things. Over means I need a response, send it. Out means I do not need a response. I'm done talking to you. So do not, at any point in time, ever say over and out on the fucking radio. It is made up Hollywood bullshit. You look like an idiot. Don't do it. Now, as I said, you will say over at the end of your transmission every single time until that transmission is over or done. The calling station that initiated the call is the one who decides when that conversation is done. Alright, so if you are not the one that initiated the call, you do not say out. You keep saying over at the end of your transmission until they say out. Alright, think of it as a phone call. Whoever says out is the person that is hanging up the phone. You do not hang up the fucking phone on someone that calls you. Next, we have Roger. Roger simply means I have received your last transmission satisfactorily. Alright? Means I heard you. That's it. Then we have Wilco. Wilco means I have received your last transmission satisfactorily and will comply. Hence Wilco. Alright, so Roger is a response to information given. Wilco is a response to an order given, meaning you will comply with that order. They mean two very different things. So don't say Roger Wilco on the fucking radio. In addition, Roger is not a response to a yes or no question. Again, all it means is I heard you. It is not a fucking response to a yes or no. So if someone asks you a question that requires a yes or no answer, you respond in the affirmative or the negative. You do not respond with fucking Roger. It makes no sense. Next, we have say again. Say again simply as it sounds. You say again all of what you just said, or you can use it in correlation with say again all before and tell them to say everything they said before a certain word, or say again all after a certain word. Very simple. The reason we use say again is because we do not use repeat as infantry. Repeat is used for fire missions and cast runs. It is a way for us to tell them to repeat their last fire mission or their last cast run. Alright, so we do not need to call in a full 8-line for a mortar strike. We can simply tell them to repeat and they'll hit the same position again. Now, our guys are very, very well fucking trained, so I do not for a second think that any of them would be dumb enough to repeat a fire mission because some random PV2 fuckface went running by and said repeat as he was going by them. But we're not going to take the fucking chance. So, do not ever say the word repeat. I will tell you now, throughout your 4 days here in OSUT, if at any fucking point in time you say repeat, I will immediately drop a mortar on your nutsack. Is that understood?
Yes, First Sergeant.
Yes, First Sergeant.
Alright. Next one we have. This is. This is means this transmission is from this calling station whose designation immediately follows. Right? Every single position has a calling station, with exception to basic fire team members. Right? At a fire team level, your name is your calling station. Fire team leader and above, they have their own specific calling station that is unique to them. So for fire team leaders, it will either be Alpha or Bravo or Charlie or Delta, depending on if you're a weapons squad or not. And then above that, you have your squad leaders, your platoon HQ, platoon medics, and then so on and so forth. Myself, my calling station is Havoc 7. I am the only Havoc 7 in the entire unit. If someone says Havoc 7 on the radio, I am the only person they can be talking to. Alternatively, if I say this is Havoc 7, when I call someone on the radio, they know I am the only person in the entire unit that could possibly be calling them with that calling station. Now, this is used at the start of every single fucking radio transmission we do. And we work very simply on a call and response system. So, Sergeant Myers,
Yes, First Sergeant.
your calling station is what?
Havoc 2-1, First Sergeant.
Havoc 2-1. So he is the squad leader for 1st Squad, 2nd Platoon. Alright? So if I were to call him on the radio, I would say, Havoc 2-1, this is Havoc 7, over. And then wait. Alright, so I said Havoc 2-1. That now lets him know that somebody is calling him on the radio. That this is Havoc 7. He now knows it's me calling him on the radio. I then said over, because I need a response. And then wait, because again, we work on call and response. For all I know, he's in the most hellacious firefight he's ever been in. He doesn't have time to talk to me on the fucking radio. So I wait for a response. He would then respond back to me. Havoc 7, this is Havoc 2-1, send traffic over. And then wait for my message. Alright, you guys tracking? If I ask if you guys are tracking, that means are you understanding what the fuck I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes, First Sergeant.
Alright. As I said, this is used at the start of every radio transmission. So there's a phrase I want you to remember. That phrase is, hey you, this is me. Alright, hey you, this is me. That is how you were going to start every fucking radio transmission. Hey you, this is me. Now as I said, at a fire team level, you don't have a calling station. You just have your name. Your fire team leader is going to have a calling station. He'll be either Alpha or Bravo. Very, very simple. Now we're going to work that into the next part, which is a radio check. Radio checks are incredibly important to us. We do them every single time we get geared out to make sure we have clear communications. So in a radio check, still going to use that phrase, hey you, this is me. But oftentimes in a radio check, you don't know who is on that radio frequency yet, because you just got on it. So that is why you will often hear guys in a radio check say, any station this net. Alright, any station, meaning any calling station, anybody that is listening. This net means this radio frequency. So, any station this net means anybody listening on this radio frequency right now. So let's say any station this net, this is, and then their calling station. If you're at a fire team level, again, you don't have a calling station, you have a name. So any station this net, this is so-and-so. Radio check. frequency 123 over. Alright, so you call out to anybody on that net. Say who you are, what you're doing, radio check. What you're doing your radio check on, that radio frequency, 123, and then over, because you need a response. You're doing a radio check, and then you wait. Someone will respond back to you. So-and-so, this is so-and-so, read you Lima Charlie, frequency 123, over. Right? So Lima Charlie means loud and clear. Or they can use the numerical scale of 1x5 to 5x5. 5x5 meaning loud and clear, 1x5 meaning broken and unreadable. So again, they'll respond back, read you Lima Charlie, frequency 123, over. They say over because they aren't the initiating calling station. They do not decide when that conversation is done. So read you Lima Charlie, frequency 123, over, and then you would respond back. Very simply, solid copy, out. Alright, you let them know that you received their response, and then close the conversation. Alright, you guys understand that?
Yes,
Yes,
for
First
sure.
Sergeant.
Alright. And what we're going to do now is actually show you guys how to use these radios. So, I want you to hold Control and press P as in Papa. Open up your radio. You should see the big green ANPRC 152. Both of you see that?
Yes, for
Yes,
sure.
First Sergeant.
Alright. I'm going to take you guys through what everything on this radio does. Starting at the top, that middle stalk with the numbers on it. That is your volume control. Right click it to increase it, left click it to decrease it. By default, it is on 80. I generally just leave it there. Loud enough to hear over a gunfight, but not so loud it's going to rape your fucking eardrums. Moving down from there, you have the display. It's that light green rectangle. That display provides you with two pieces of information. It will tell you the channel and the frequency. Understand that a channel and a frequency are two different things. Frequency is what that channel is tuned to. Moving down from there to the actual buttons. Top right corner, you have the CLR button. That is to clear a frequency. If you click that, it will clear out the random series of numbers that follow C1. Directly beneath that is the ENT button, or the enter button. That is how you will set a frequency. So when you clear a frequency and type a new one into the display, you will then click that ENT button and set the frequency. Moving down from there, you have the PRE plus and minus. Plus goes to the next channel, minus goes to the previous channel. Alternatively, you can use the number keys on your number pad to quickly switch channels. Right next to that, we have that right facing arrow along the bottom row. That sets your radio to speakers. Do not ever click that fucking button. At no point in time will you ever set your short range radio to speakers. Very simply, if you do, every time someone keys up on that radio frequency, it will be broadcast to everyone around you. Vast majority of the time, it causes a large amount of feedback, and those of us wearing headsets will want to rip your fucking head off. So don't touch it. Next, we have the left facing arrow. That left facing arrow is how you will set an additional channel. Setting an additional channel is a way to monitor, i.e. listen and talk on two different radio channels at the same time. Everybody in a leadership position is responsible for monitoring multiple nets. A net is a frequency. Lastly, in the very bottom left corner, at the 0 key, that is the stereo settings key. That is so you can make it so that a channel is heard through only one ear. Incredibly handy for those of us that monitor multiple nets. That is all of the buttons on the radio. The rest of the buttons in the field don't do shit, so pretend they ain't even there. Does everybody understand what each one of those buttons do?
Yes, for sure.
Yes, First Sergeant.
Alright. Now, what you guys are going to do is program these radios. So I want you to go up to that top right corner where it says CLR. Click that button. So it should say C1 and then a blank. Inside that blank, you are going to type in 100.1. Once it says C1 100.1, you are then going to click that ENT button and set that frequency. Once that frequency is set, you're going to go down to the 0 key at the very bottom left. and click that once, so that this is heard only in your left ear. Once you have that done, you are then going to click the PRE plus and go to channel 2, so it should say C2 in a random series of numbers. You are then going to click the CLR button, clear that frequency, and type in the frequency 100. Once you have that frequency, you are then going to click the ENT button and set it. Once it says C2 100, you are then going to go down to that left facing arrow to set additional channel. Click that once. It will change it from Charlie 2 to Alpha 2 100. So now that your display says Alpha 2 100, you are then going to go to that 0 key, the stereo key, and click that twice so that this is heard only in your right ear. Once that is done, go ahead and go back to channel 1 by hitting PRE minus. This is an important note. Anytime you set an additional channel, whether it be channel 2 or channel 8, doesn't fucking matter which one is your additional. Once you set your additional, you need to go back to your primary channel. Otherwise, you will not be able to hear it. The only one you can hear in addition to your primary channel is, guess what? Your additional fucking channel. So make sure your display never says alpha whatever number and a frequency when you go to put your radio away. It needs to say Charlie 1 and the frequency, Alpha 2 and whatever the frequency is, always needs to be off your display. Otherwise you will not be able to hear your primary net. And once you're back to channel 1, go ahead and press escape and close your radio. Both of you now have your radio closed. That wasn't a rhetorical question. Do both of you have your radio closed?
Yes, First Sergeant.
Alright, so now both of you should hear me speaking to you in your left ear, correct?
Yes, First Sergeant.
Now both of you should hear me speaking to you in your right ear, correct?
Yes, First Sergeant.
Outstanding. Now you know how to program a radio as well as program an additional frequency. Alright? Again, very fucking handy for those of us in leadership positions. It is not something that you are going to need to do as soon as you get into the unit, but it is a skill that you will need eventually should you ever wish to move to a leadership position. Now the next thing we're going to do is some radio checks. So, in order to do that, in order to transmit on your primary station or your primary net, the default hotkey is caps lock. Do not start hitting your caps lock key now. I do not need to hear your fucking radio squawking in my ear. So caps lock will talk on your primary net. Talk on your additional net, by default, it is the tango key. Understand that A, you cannot talk on both of them at the exact same time. B, when you go to talk on one after immediately finishing with the other, you need to give it a few seconds before you hit your transmit key. I.e., if you're using Tango to transmit on your additional net, and then you need to say something on your primary net, you have to give it a couple seconds before you push down caps lock. Otherwise, you will transmit your message on both radio frequencies, and it will cause confusion. Is that understood?
You will not laugh.
You will not cry.
Alright,
You will learn by the numbers.
so,
I will teach
again, we're going to do some radio checks. Remember how the radio checks go. Any station this net, this is so-and-so, radio check, frequency, whatever your frequency is, over. They then respond. So-and-so, this is so-and-so, read you Lima Charlie, frequency, whatever, over. You respond back, solid copy, out. Alright, very simple process. You guys are going to do a radio check on 100.1. Lordy, you're going to do your radio check, Carrie's going to respond, then Carrie's going to do his radio check, and you're going to respond. Alright, sound clear?
Yes, First Sergeant.
Alright, make it happen.
Any station this net, radio check frequency 100.1, over.
Lima Charlie, over.
Roger, out.
Did you guys suddenly forget you have names?
No, First Sergeant.
Let's try that again and use your name so we know who the fuck is actually doing a radio check.
Any station this net. This is Lordy. Radio check on frequency 100.1. Over.
Lodi, this is Carrie, Lima Charlie, over.
This is Lordy. Roger out.
That was perfect until Carrie forgot to say back what your radio frequency was. So let's try that again from the top.
Any station this net. This is Lordy. Radio check on frequency 100.1. Over.
Lodi, this is Carrie, Lima Charlie, frequency 100.1, over.
Carrie, this is Lordy. Out.
We got the solid copy in there, but we'll continue on. Carrie, go ahead.
Any station this net, this is Private Carrie, radio check, frequency 100.1, over.
Carrie, this is Lordy. I read you Lima Charlie on frequency 100.1. Over.
Lodi, this is Carrie, solid copy, out.
There you go. That was perfect. Now this is something you're going to get a lot of practice at. Because as I said, we do this every single time we get geared out. But every time you go into a server, you're going to be doing a radio check. You're going to get a lot of practice at it, and it's something you're going to be able to rip off in a matter of 10 seconds or less. Now, one thing I forgot to mention at the very start, because I was a little too busy being pissed off at idiots that don't know how to work their fucking mods, is this. Understand something, gentlemen. We have very fucking high standards here. We have very high standards for a reason. We did not become the world's biggest fucking realism unit because we like to play with our dicks. Because of those high standards. And we do not let in any fucking happy half-tard that can push a keyboard. Understand that anything here that we go over is for your own good. That includes the mistakes that we point out. If you fuck up and I bust your balls on it, you have two options. Either bitch out and leave, or fucking grow a pair, take that mistake, own it, and push past it. Understand that nothing here is personal. I give exactly 0 fucks about your personal feelings or opinions. I am here to do a job that I take very fucking seriously. At no point in time am I personally attacking you, because I don't fucking know you personally. I don't care to know you personally. I'm here to fucking train you. That is it. At the end of the day, you're my responsibility. Whether you're in this class or it's 2 fucking years from now and you're in a fire team, you're still my responsibility. So if the day comes that you make a boneheaded mistake and get your entire fucking team killed, that's my fault. I'm the one that trained you. So understand that I take this very fucking seriously, and when you make a mistake, I will rectify it immediately. And if you fail to fix that mistake, I will bounce your ass out of here like you were a fucking bouncy ball. Is that understood?
Yes, First Sergeant.
Alright. Now, next thing we're going to be going over is some weapons familiarization. Now we're going to give you the rundown on these weapons. Again, highly recommend you take notes. Once we are done with the lecture portion of this, we're going to actually head out to the range and give you guys some hands-on time with these weapon systems. So pay attention to the information that I am providing you in this lecture. Now the first thing we're going to go over is the M4 carbine. The M4 carbine is standard issue for the US. Everyone here carries them, with exception to some pilots, machine gunners, and automatic riflemen. Now the M4 is a lightweight gas-operated air-cooled magazine-fed shoulder-fire weapon. It can be fired in either the automatic or semi-automatic mode. It has a point target range of 500 meters and an area target range of 600 meters. Either one of you know the difference between a point target and an area target?
Yes, First Sergeant. A point target is an individual targets.
Yes, point target would be an individual target. Area target would be the area around that target, so suppressing them. So what that essentially means is 500 meter point target means you can accurately engage an individual target. 600 meter area target means you can suppress the area around that target. That does not mean the weapon system is not lethal beyond that range. Right? The 5.56 millimeter round is lethal well fucking beyond 500 meters. You are just not going to be as accurate with it. Next weapon system we're going to cover, the M320 grenade launcher. The M320 can be operated in either the standalone variant or the attached variant, or the UGL, underslung grenade launcher. We only use the UGL. Now the M320 is a 40 millimeter breech loading grenade launcher that is attached to the bottom side of the M4. It is carried by grenadiers as well as some squad leaders and above. Now we also use the M203, which is the older brother to the 320. For training, you guys will only use the 320. Now the 320 has a engagement range of 350 meters. Now again, that does not mean it cannot hit targets beyond 350 meters. It simply ranges out to 350 meters. For a little Kentucky windage on it, you can reach out there and touch somebody. But the 320 only ranges to 350 meters. The 203 only ranges to 250. Now both of them are capable of firing a couple of different munitions types. First one being HE, or high explosive. We then have HEDP, high explosive dual purpose. We also have smoke. 40 millimeter smoke, however, takes a lot of practice to be accurate with. Unfortunately, within ArmA, there are times where you can fire a 40 mic smoke out there 200 meters and it'll bounce another 200-300 meters beyond that. So it takes some practice to get good with it. There is also something known as a Hunt IR round. A Hunt IR round is essentially they replace the warhead in the 40 mic with a camera. So you'll hear the thumper go off, it'll go up there, and then you'll see a parachute deploy out of the back of the grenade. And then someone with the correct device can connect to that camera and look down and be able to see targets with it. So if at any point in time you're in a position where you're covering a sector, you hear a thumper go off, and you look up and see a parachute, do not freak out. It is not enemy paratroopers. It's not the fucking aliens coming to invade. It's a goddamn camera. Don't shoot at it. Now, Platoon HQ and above are the only ones that carry Hunt IR, so you're not going to have to worry about a bunch of fucking parachutes flying around out there. Lastly, we have illumination rounds. Now, you may think illumination rounds are fucking stupid considering we all have MVGs. I can tell you now from personal experience, when the fog is super thick, MVGs don't do dick. Illumination is your best friend. Any questions on any of the two weapon systems we have covered thus far?
No, for sure.
Go for Sergeant.
Alright, next weapon system we're going to cover is the M249 Squad Automatic Weapon, or SAW. SAW is carried by 11 Bravo automatic riflemen. There is 2 automatic riflemen per rifle squad. The M249 is a gas-operated, air-cooled, belt or magazine-fed automatic weapon that fires from the open bolt position. It is capable of firing 850 rounds per minute. Yes, I did say magazine or belt-fed. While these are normally a belt-fed light machine gun, it can receive a 30-round magazine from an M4. It's chambered in the exact same 5.56 NATO round. However, as you can imagine, a weapon system that is capable of firing 850 rounds per minute can rip through 30 rounds pretty goddamn quick. So, that is used in extreme emergencies only. Generally, they are going to be fed by a 200-round belt. Now, the M249 has a area target range of 1,200 meters. Notice I only said area target range. I did not say point target range, because the SAW is a suppression weapon. Now, this does not mean you can't engage an individual target with it. What it means is you fire the SAW in bursts, generally going to be a 3 to 5 round burst. You fire the burst and rake it across the target's body. Now, generally, firing a machine gun, you want to aim at their kneecaps and start your burst. Any guess as to why you aim at their kneecaps?
Yes, First Sergeant. The recoil brings the barrel up.
There you go, weapon rise. Right? Start your burst at the kneecaps, 3 to 5 round burst. It should end at their collarbone. Very simple. Next weapon system we're going to cover. The M240 Bravo medium machine gun. The M240 Bravo is a belt-fed, air-cooled, gas-operated, fully automatic machine gun that fires from the open bolt position. However, unlike the SAW, the 240 is chambered in the 7.62 NATO round. Right? This is essentially the bigger, badder, meaner brother of the SAW. The M240 Bravo is carried by 11 Bravo machine gunners within a weapon squad. It has an area target range of 1,800 meters, so it will reach the fuck out there and touch someone, hence why we affectionately refer to it as the big black dick of freedom. Now, the 240 Bravo is also capable of using armor-piercing rounds. 11 Bravo machine gunners carry a limited amount of AP ammo that can punch through light armor. But do not be surprised if you see a machine gunner engaging a piece of light armor. He can punch right through the belly armor and kill the crew and occupants inside. Next weapon system. We're going to move on to the shoulder-fired munitions. Firstly, we have the M136 AT4. The AT4 is a lightweight, self-contained SLM design for use against light armor and improved armor. Now, the AT4 has an effective range of 300 meters. Now, much like any other weapon system, that does not mean it can't hit targets beyond 300 meters. Or that it can't fly beyond 300 meters. Maximum range of the rocket on the AT4 is 2,100 meters, but the maximum effective range is 300 meters. Now, the AT4, as I said, is used against light armor. It can also be used against medium armor to minimal effect. The other shoulder fire weapon that the basic infantry carries is the Law. Now, the Law is essentially the little brother to the AT4. It is used for what we consider soft targets, troop transports, stuff like that. It is not something designed to kill tanks. Now, both the Law and the AT4 are carried by riflemen within a rifle squad. Each rifle squad has 2 riflemen. 1 rifleman will carry the AT4, 1 rifleman will carry the Law. Next weapon system we're going to cover is the M3 Carl Gustav, or simply known as the Maus. The Maus is an 84mm recoilless rifle. It is essentially the same weapon system as the AT4. However, the Maus has rifling and it can be reloaded, as where the AT4 is a smoothbore rocket that fires out of there that comes pre-loaded. You cannot reload an AT4. It is a single-use weapon. Once you fire it, toss the tube on the ground. Same goes for the Law. The Maus can reload. It also uses bigger rounds than the AT4. Understand that a caliber of a round and the size of the round are 2 different things. Both the Maus and the AT4 are 84 mil. They're the same caliber, but the round of the Maus is much larger. Essentially, it's longer. Alright, so it can pack one hell of a fucking punch. Now, the Maus is carried by 11 Bravo anti-armor gunners within a weapon squad. Private Carey, you had a question.
Yes, for Sergeant. What's the range of the law?
Maximum effective range of the law is 300 meters. Alright, next weapon system we're going to cover. And start the maximum effective range of the MAWS is 900 meters. Now, the next weapon system is the FGM-148 Javelin Missile System. Now, it's known as the Javelin Missile System because it comes in multiple parts. You have the actual missile, you have the tube, and then you have the clue. Clue is the command launch unit. That's the big black thing that you see attached to the tube on a Javelin. Now, in real world, the clue and the tube are transported completely separately because the clue is also used for target acquisition because the clue has full thermal capabilities. We use it for the same thing, however, unfortunately, we cannot detach it from the tube. If you pull out the clue, the tube comes with it. But we will use it for the same thing. So oftentimes you will see a Jav gunner out there with his Javelin out. That does not mean he is engaging a piece of armor. He can simply be scanning for thermal hits. Now the Javelin, also carried by 11 Bravo anti-armor gunners within a weapon squad, is the hardest hitting piece of anti-armor weaponry that we have as infantry. Javelin is a very unique weapon system. As I said, it has full thermal capabilities, it has lock-on capabilities. When it locks onto a target, the initial motor will carry the missile out of the tube a couple feet out in front of the gunner. Once it gets a couple feet out there, the primary engine then fires. When the primary engine fires, you'll see that missile take off at about a 45-degree angle up into the air. It does that so that it can hit the target from above, because armor is inherently the weakest at the top plate. So Javelins hit it from above. Javelins can kill damn near any piece of armor with a single hit. However, they do that because the rounds are so large and they're able to hit it in the top plate. So because of that, we carry a very limited amount of Javelin missiles. When we go out with the Javelins, we don't have many missiles, and it's generally a pretty good sign we're about to go up against some heavy shit. Because again, Javs are big, they're heavy, they're not fun to fucking carry, but if we have them, it's because we need them. Next, we're going to move on to hand-thrown munitions. First one we're going to cover is the M67 fragmentation grenade. The M67 consists of a pre-fragmented steel body filled with 6.5 ounces of explosives. Has a fuse of 3.2 to 4.2 seconds. Now, to explain how this works, if you do not know, if you envision the typical frag grenade, whether it be a modern M67 or a fucking pineapple grenade from World War II, they still work the exact same way. You have the grenade body, you have the fuse up at the top, and then you have the spoon and the pin. Now the pin is simply there to hold the spoon. When you pull the pin, as long as you're holding the spoon down, it doesn't mean dick. Right? That grenade is not going to explode. The fuse does not start burning until you release the spoon. The spoon is the big handle looking thing that comes off of it. Also kind of looks like a spoon. So, once you release that spoon, that's when that fuse starts burning. Now, you may think it's cool to cook a grenade, because you can do it in fucking Call of Duty and Battlefield and all that really fun shit. I can tell you now, cooking a grenade is one of the most terrifying fucking things you can ever do. When you're at a grenade pit and you're told, release the spoon, count to 2, and then throw it, that is the fastest 2 count you will ever make in your life. We do have the ability to cook a grenade here. I do not recommend doing it. It's a good fucking way to blow yourself up. Now the M67 has a kill radius of 15 meters. And a fragmentation dispersal radius of 230 meters. So make goddamn sure when you throw one of those, you are behind solid cover. Next, we have the M84 flashbang, or the stun grenade as it's labeled. The M84 is a diversionary device used for room and building clearing. It has a 1 to 2 second fuse. Upon detonation, it emits a blinding flash and a loud, deafening bang, hence flashbang. Now this is our non-lethal device, as I said, used for room clearing. If we don't know who or what is in that room, we use a flashbang. Now, one of the unfortunate downsides of ArmA is that if the AI is not looking at the grenade, essentially if it is not in their cone of vision, the flashbang will not have an effect on them. I can tell you that is 100% bullshit. Every single fucking game you see where you can just look away and a flashbang doesn't affect you is fucking bullshit. That deafening bang isn't just for fucking kicks. It completely disorients you and will drop you to your knees. If it doesn't blow out your eardrums, you're a lucky motherfucker. Now the flashbangs, as well as the frag grenades, you can cook them. But again, flashbang only has a 1 to 2 second fuse. I don't fucking recommend it. Moving on from the flashbang. We then have our M18 smoke grenades. M18s are a canister type grenade, where upon releasing the spoon will begin emitting a large plume of smoke. The longer it sits, larger the plume gets until it dissipates. Now we have different smoke colors used for different purposes. White and yellow smoke is used for concealment. Concealment is to conceal your position. Understand there's a difference between concealment and cover. Concealment hides you, cover protects you. In other words, do not throw smoke and think it's magically going to stop bullets. The enemy can shoot through smoke. Next we have green smoke. Green smoke is used to signal a friendly position. Then we have red smoke. Red smoke is used to mark an enemy position. Do not, at any point in time, ever throw red smoke on a friendly position. If you do, by accident, make sure you immediately radio it up your chain of command. Very simply put, red smoke is like Christmas to air assets. They see red smoke, that means that's something they get to kill. And if it's a hand smoke, meaning a hand-thrown munition, they go into fucking overtime. Because for us to be able to throw a red smoke on an enemy position, that means we are danger fucking close. So those guys up in the air are about to fucking go to work trying to save our ass. Next we have orange smoke. Orange smoke is carried by team leaders. It is carried by team leaders because it is used to signal the position of demolitions. Every team leader carries M112 demolition blocks. When those M112s are placed and the trigger is then set, team leader will deploy an orange smoke on that position. Again, to signal everyone that there are demolitions placed there. So essentially, if you see orange smoke, stay the fuck away from it. That area is about to explode. We then have blue smoke. Blue smoke is used to signal a broken chain of command. Essentially, everyone around there is dead. Stay the fuck out of the area. You see blue smoke, just stay away from it, unless you are ordered to go there and set up security. That directly ties in with the next one, which is purple smoke. Purple smoke is only carried by medics. It is used to signal an MCI, a mass casualty incident, or simply a mass cas. Medics are the only ones who declare a mass cas. We do not have the training to decide whether or not it is a mass casualty incident. Medics do. Should a medic declare an area an MCI, he will deploy purple smoke and every single medical personnel within the area will come to aid. If you see purple smoke, stay the fuck out of the way. Unless you are told to go there and set up security, stay away from it. You're just going to get in the way. If you are told told to go there and set up security, go there, set up outer security, and stay the fuck out of the medic's way. Unless they ask you to help with bandaging or CPR or something, just stay the fuck away from them. Your job, first and foremost, is to protect those medics. Alright, any questions on the smoke colors?
No, for sure.
Go for it, sir.
Outstanding. And what we're going to do now is we're going to head out to the range, get you guys a little bit of hands-on time with the different weapon systems that we've covered here. We're going to first go out to the grenade range and see if you guys are capable of not blowing yourselves up. So, Sergeant Myers is going to take you guys over to see the Supply Sergeant. Supply Sergeant's going to get you guys geared up. We are then going to head out to the range. Alright, any questions on what we are about to do?
No, for sure.
Alright, use your scroll wheel, unask your seat. Sergeant Myers, take him over to the Supply Sergeant.
Roger, First Sergeant. Follow me.
Alright. Oh, so much fucking talking. Oh yeah, Myers is here. He always handles the middle part, because it's, by the time I get done with this is when I need a fucking goddamn break. So he'll take over and do the grenades and AT4, and then I get to take over at the end and do the rifle range. Really fun when one of us isn't here, and yeah, then you get to do all the fucking talking. Wondering why you don't use 240 Bravo on your fun ops? Because it's too heavy. Our fun ops, we do way too much running around and shit like that, and I don't have an AG or an A gunner to carry extra ammo for me, so that's why I carry the saw. I can carry like 1,200-1,300 rounds pretty easily for the saw, as were the 240. I can't. Otherwise, I would. If we had the fucking if we had the 240 Lima or the Mark 48, I absolutely would. I would fucking, God, I would love to have a Mark 48. I guess I probably should grab my rifle.
Oh, Lordy, what's taking so long?
I'm trying to select my loadout. I'm not...
Is it grayed out?
Hey, Zynite.
Say again?
Is it grayed out?
I'm not sure which key combination that...
I will PT you all until you
So head
fucking
over,
die!
look at this guy, scroll, should be an arsenal. Yeah, enter,
Deke,
and
thank you
should
for
be
the
getting
follow.
into the arsenal, and load your loadouts from there.
Private Carey,
Yes, for Sergeant.
do me a favor. Press the November key on your keyboard. November is N. There you go. How good is your vision right now?
Very bad, for Sergeant.
Why is that?
Night vision is activated, for Sergeant.
Probably don't need MVGs on your helmet at 8 a.m. Go ahead and stow them in your pack.
Roger, for Sergeant.
Can you not see the arsenal option when you're scrolling on this?
Sergeant Myers, take him to our box.
Alright, come
I
over
will
here.
PT you all until you fucking die!
Use this box in there. One on the
Crossfire,
right.
thank you
Right,
for
right,
the follow. Make sure the range is looking alright.
Make sure you take your rifleman loadout with the AT4. It's an AR loadout.
Alright. Looks like we're good. Step out there real quick and... Oh, actually, I'll just put some fucking vehicles out here myself.
I will PT you all until you fucking die!
And White Knight, thank you for the follow. Let's see what I need here. Objects.
There you go. I'll let both of you guys know when we're on base like this in a safe environment, you need to condition your weapons, so that'll be magazines out and on your back. If you ever load into a training environment, always condition your rifles, so no magazine in there. If we're on deployment, it's a different story, but for now, always make sure you pull the rifle out your magazine, put it in your bag.
Your weekend,
Alright, so
I'm going
Brett,
to
go for this one.
translate that to you're welcome. Alright, Sergeant Myers, go ahead and get him out to the grenade range.
Roger that. Alright, both of you follow me. Head over to this flagpole, first one, and go to the weapons range complex.
Vert, just years of experience. I forgot to grab my rifle and shit.
Try and find him.
Where the fuck did the idiot... Who do we have here? Carrie.
There he is.
Hey, he figured out how to fucking teleport on his own. Hot damn.
Alright. Before I start this, I want you guys to both go to... Stand by.
Jesus Christ, Myers, read the signs.
Stand by here for 1 hot second.
I will put myself down in arsenal.
Alright, both of you follow me again, we're on the wrong range. Over one more. Alright, for a start, when you guys
Hey, yeah, Cope, you know better than anyone.
Put your earplugs in. Once you've done that, I'm gonna take you over the key bindings and all that good stuff regarding your grenades. So, you'll notice when you press 6 and 7, on your keyboard, just cycle between a lethal grenade and a non-lethal grenade. So 6 will be your lethals, which will be your M67 fragmentation grenades, as well as your flashbang grenades.
All right, guys, give me a
smokes,
minute, and I will
chem
be
lights if you
right
carry
back.
them,
I
but
gotta
they'll just be
take care of
smokes.
something real quick.
Big tip for you guys: when you first get into a server, always make sure you hit 7, just to make sure you're equipped with a non-lethal grenade like a smoke. So if you do accidentally throw a grenade, it's a smoke instead of a fragmentation grenade or a flashbang. Another good tip I have for you is if you both hit escape, hit configure, go to controls, show weapons, and scroll down to throw. It's about halfway down the list there. If you go into throw and you delete the initial key binding of just golf and you rebind it to double tap G, or something that you're not going to hit accidentally, some people use a completely different key. I personally just have it to 2 times G, so I have to press G twice throw rather than just once. That's what I'd recommend to use. If you guys both look out onto the range here and hit Shift Kilo, you'll see in the top left hand corner a little arrow will appear. Any of you guys take a guess as to what that arrow is showing? Anyone?
What was the key combination, Sergeant?
Shift Kilo.
Wind direction, maybe?
Yeah, there you go. It's a wind direction, so arrow is obviously pointing in which direction the wind is. So here we got our southwest wind, and the dots denote how strong the wind is. So this we've got a slight breeze, southwest, and I'll demonstrate this if I throw out a smoke grenade, like so, and it will start to plume. You guys see it will slowly drift over to the southwest, a little bit towards us. There we go, starting to drift now. Really important to look at the wind before you throw a smoke grenade, especially if we're crossing open grounds. Instead of, you can use the wind to make one grenade way more effective if you throw it in the right spot. Throw it, a little bit further up to the north or whatever direction. If you throw it into the wind, it's going to, pull back away from the wind, and it's going to cover more open grounds rather than throwing 3 or 4 smoke grenades to just try and mask your movement. When you come to fragmentation grenades,
we are back.
Shit, they're heavy. They're not going to get affected by wind. They're not in the air for long enough.
Well, they haven't killed themselves yet.
When you guys hit Shift and Golf, you'll now see a little UI.
You know it, Cope.
Scrolling up and down will change the arc of your grenade direction. Your left click, don't press it now, but your left click will throw. Your middle mouse button, that's what we use to cook the grenades. This is ACE grenade, advanced grenade throwing, so a middle mouse button will cook the grenade in your hand. So if you do want to cook a fragmentation grenade, that's what we'll use. And right click will obviously cancel. This AI is a little bit better because you can kind of choose the arc of your grenade and see where it's going to go.
What am I looking for?
So if you kind of want to spread a grenade through a window or through a door, use this. But for this purpose, I'll just be using the standard ArmA 3. Press, double tap G or whatever you have binded.
Fool, that's what we're doing right now. Well, this is second phase of training.
How many questions so far?
No, sorry.
This isn't recruit training.
The shift golf key.
Yes, we train everybody that comes in.
Alters the trajectory of the throw.
So if you hit Shift Golf, you'll see that the UI will open. Scrolling up and down your mouse wheel will change the arc of the grenade. You can see the dots will change as you scroll up.
Yes, roger that.
Yeah, that's it for that. If you have a smoke grenade equipped,
and Fool,
click,
thank you for the follow-up.
Smoke grenade will pop in your hand. You can run around with the grenade in your hands. Not useful in most situations. Some medics use it.
I don't know why I'm putting this fly box over here.
Putting down a mask area, they will hold the grenade, or when you're crossing open ground, some people will choose to hold the smoke grenade. Personally, I'm not a 5, just fucking throw it. But that is, if you guys do want to hold onto a smoke grenade, you can use that. Alright, so what I'm going to have you guys do now is head over to the sandbags one at a time and throw a fragmentation grenade.
And this is where they kill themselves.
Both of you, before we start this, make sure you have your earplugs in. If you guys want to use the ACE throw, that's fine. If you want to use the standard ArmA 3 throw, that's fine. What you guys do is approach the sandbags. Actually, before we do this, I will demonstrate. Let me just grab a fragmentation grenade. So, I'm gonna go through the notions of throwing a grenade, and you guys can pay attention. So, when you're going to throw a fragmentation grenade, you'll obviously equip it using 6 on your numpad to select your lethal grenades.
Fucking
You'll
Myers
figure
in
out
his
where you want to throw it. Then you will use whatever throw key, so whether you prefer ace throw or normal throw. But when you throw it, you need to say or yell frag out. The reason we
Cope,
yell
does he
frag
do
out
that
is to
during
let
fucking
everyone
squad
around you
training?
know that
Just like
fragmentation
constant
grenade has been thrown outwards. Now usually when you're in your fire teams or in a buddy team, everyone around you will know already where that fragmentation grenade is going. You know, if you're trying to get into a house where there's OPFOR inside, you yell frag out, most people are going to assume that you've thrown a frag into the house. Now, there's a couple of
course he does.
pointers with this. If for whatever reason
Oh, Vert, my favorite is the fucking,
it has not gone where
the
you
video of
want it
the
to
guy
go,
at the grenade pits and goes
first
to
thing you
throw
do
the
is yell
fucking
bad
grenade
frag, bad
and it
frag.
hits the tree
And a
right
good
in front of
example
him
this I use
and
is
bounces back at him.
house situation. You're
Jesus
trying to throw a
Christ.
grenade, through a window at the second story of the house, and it bounces off the wall, or it hits something and it comes back at you.
Brits were
You need
supposed to say
yell bad
Erm.
frag, bad frag.
Well, he's been
That way you
Americanized
need to turn
by
around,
being around us so much.
4 or 5 paces. Make sure you guys will get to know how these grenades explode.
Love is a strong word.
You need to turn around, run directly away from where the bad frag is landed, and then fucking hit the deck, because you guys will know grenades explode upwards and outwards, meaning the fragmentation goes mostly upwards and outwards. Little fragmentation grenade goes downwards. So it's going to give you the best chance of getting off without too much damage to yourself.
His name
Like
is
That
Jackass.
bad frag is yelled by you. Once you yell bad frag, people around you will also be yelling about bad frag. Lets everyone in the area know that fragmentation grenade is somewhere where it shouldn't be. It's customary to also yell bad smoke and bad flash if the grenade isn't has gone where it shouldn't go. Bad smoke isn't really.
Well, hey, you moved up in rank
unless it's
from
red smoke.
PV2 fuckface
Throw a
to
yellow smoke
PFC
grenade, it bounces
Jackass.
off a wall. It's not going to do any damage to you, it's just going to fucking annoy people, because you're going to be sitting in smoke for a good 30-40 seconds, unable to see out, but it's not a big deal. Flashbangs are there with the most, fucking annoying. If you throw a flashbang into a room and it bounces back at you, and you fucking flashbang your entire fire team, everyone's going to be pissed off. But if you yell bad flash, people, you will have enough time to maybe turn away.
I've seen that happen so many times.
So it doesn't fuck you up
Flash
too much.
out. Bad flash, bad flash.
Yes, that's it. So like I said, when you're going to throw a grenade, identify when you want to throw it, select it, go to throw it. Before you throw it, or as you're throwing the grenade, you want to yell frag out, and then you want to take cover,
Do I fucking ramble on this much? Because I don't feel like I ramble on this much.
Building, wait for the grenade to explode, and then carry on doing what you're doing. So I'll demonstrate that now. Both of you guys have earplugs in, correct?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Frag out. There you go. It is that simple. So, Private Lordy, you're up.
Yeah, throwing them through a fucking window sucks, man. Like, using the ace throw does help a lot, because majority of the time it'll tell you if it's gonna bounce, but sometimes even that is still a little fucking wonky.
How's the smoke?
That looked like a smoke.
Make sure you're hitting 6 on your keyboard to select your fragmentation grenade. When you hit 6, you'll cycle through fragmentation and flashbang grenades.
It's horrible when I can see it in hang time and be like, that's a smoke.
Frag out. Oh, there's another smoke grenade. You hit 6, you should see on the top right, it will say M67 fragmentation grenade.
Roger, that's up there on the.
What are you using to throw it? Shift G or just normal G?
Double G.
Alright, try Shift G. Make sure it's selected and then try and throw it.
Frag out.
There you go.
Yeah, I never use fucking Control G. That's just asking to fucking blow you or somebody else up.
Key bindings.
I only ever
look at
use
them
6
later
and
on.
7.
Big tip I can give you is don't carry white smoke. We don't use it. So if you do have white smoke with you,
He said frag out. It was just quiet because he's not on yelling. I heard him.
Private carry, you're up.
Oh, was he asking a question? Did it have an upward tone at the end?
There you go. So both you now have a general idea of how far we can throw these things. You can you can send them out there and cook.
Yeah, exactly. When I throw a frag, my entire house knows that I'm throwing a frag grenade.
You don't have a lot of time to really move away from it, so that's why I say a couple paces and just hit the deck and fucking hope for the best. That's it for me. Any questions on grenades? Alright, we're going to turn around, head back out, and we're going to go to the AT4 range.
Oh, he doesn't know how to go off of walking. Actually, if you threw the frag, it's like when I'll get done with an operation, like especially if I'm TFC, like I'll come out and my brother will be like, "So, went pretty bad, huh?" Because like he can hear how much I'm yelling, or I'll be like, "Didn't go too bad, huh?" Because I didn't yell.
Alright, gents. So, before we start hitting on the AT4, we're firstly going to go over the Vector 21 rangefinders. You guys should both recruit them. If you hit Bravo, you should pull them out.
You don't have them.
Right, there is a box behind you, grab a pair.
Well, at least they went to the right fucking box.
Alright, so right clicking will zoom you in. You can just look around by moving yourself. The rangefinders are really fucking good. They have a lot of different tools in them that we use. For today's purpose, we're just going to be using the ranging feature, but whatever billet you guys go into,
no, absolutely, fool. This is the perfect time for it. That's the reason I stream the shit that I do, so that people can ask questions, and when I'm not talking, I'm able to answer them.
Drop and shit like that, really fancy stuff. But for today, we're just going to be using the range. So if you guys look around, you'll see out there's a couple of VIX, PTRs.
2000 EST is 8 p.m. Eastern.
So this combined with if you unzoom, so if you just hit yourself out and you hold kilo, you'll pull up your compass. This combines with a distance, and so if you give a distance and a bearing, that's all you'll really need for today.
Yeah, as far as joining, all you need is
you can give someone the 3Ds with this.
Good copy of ArmA 3 with Apex and B18 and a working microphone.
Fuck, I always forget this. Distance description and Sergeant Loster.
Distance, direction, and description.
That's the one. Distance, direction, description. So
with
this combined with your compass, you can give someone all three of those and effectively take out a piece of light armor with your AT4. So firstly, if you right-click, zoom in, look around.
And then obviously you need to be able to, make it through the training. But training times are pretty easy to make as far as phase 1 and phase 2 of training.
Go ahead and right-click, zoom in on it, and if you hold down the
operations are generally hour and a half to 2 hours. It's where we try to keep it maximum operation length or training length is 3 hours. We will not go, well, we have gone over 3 hours, but beyond 3 hours you're not required to be there. Once you hit 3 hours you can fucking disconnect. There's no repercussions whatsoever. But yeah, usually 2 hours or so. No
So
music.
now if
We're
you
not
guys go ahead and
using
now
the
grab one as
cup
well,
ones.
pull out your 84s.
Yeah, Sphero, but you worked with hammer. Myers is special.
Okay, so I'm not going to be firing anything yet. I'm just going to be showing you guys the basic, how this thing looks. So if both you hit Romeo, then I'll prep your AT. What this will do is it's basically ready to go now.
I guess
you'll have a
hammer's
little
special
reticle
too, though.
come up, so when you now look down scope, you'll see a tiny fucking hole and a white aperture. Does everyone see this?
Yes, sir.
That's what you use to aim this. You can zoom in a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
more
the
if you
cup MRAPs
hold
are
the keybind and use
definitely
to zoom in
nice,
further.
but Dodo has
Pressing
a
P
lot of work to do to them to make them work correctly.
meters. And you can see there's a little white dial as well, that gives you an indication of where
And Miller, thank
if
you
you
for
hit
the
page
follow.
down, you'll zoom back down a little bit down to 50 meters. Ranging is obviously really important, so you always want, when you're firing one of these, you want to make sure you're in a buddy team and your buddy has the rangefinders out. So if you see something, 350 meters out, you want to make sure you're range to 350 before you fire, and aim directly at the piece of armor.
Yeah, those MRAPs have like their armor values got to be worked out, the weapon systems and all of that stuff. That's the thing. Like even the Cougars that we have, they're heavily fucking modified from what they are stock.
Whenever I carried an 84, I would range to the lower end. So if it was
all of our vehicles are. That's why nobody has vehicles the same as ours. Everything we have has been heavily modified by the S4 guys.
Any questions on the 84?
No, sir.
Okay. So we're gonna do this now. I'm gonna team you guys up. So Kerry and Lordy, one of you guys is gonna be ranging, and one of you is gonna be firing. Before we get to that, we're gonna be looking over the actual firing procedure of the 84. So both of you guys can put them away for now. Put back on your backs. And I'll use Sergeant Loster as an example. So Sergeant Loster, prep your AT. Okay, so example here, myself and Sergeant Loster see the piece of armor. I've ranged it for him. There's a few steps you guys need to go through before you actually pull the trigger. The first being you're clearing your backblast. So let's say, for example, that the BTR at the bearing of 230, and we've ranged it at 300 meters, and Sergeant lost it. Yeah, 130, my bad. Yep. He's seen it. There you go. He's pointing to it. He's seen it. We're both talking about the same piece of armor. But before he pulls the trigger, Sergeant Loster is going to give a audible command, which will be clear backblast. What this? It's 300, I believe. Standby. 235. Yep. He'll give the audible to clear backblast. Now it's really important that you fucking on
Long wheels and red engines really injured though. Yeah, it's
that means someone is
that's
about
pretty
to fire
accurate.
So Sergeant Loster will yell clear backblast as the as the ranger or as his buddy. It's my job to then look around behind him and make sure nothing is there. What you're checking for in his backblast area, which I'll demonstrate now, is here, pretty much here all the way around to here, and even here where I'm standing, all the way back this far, is anything that the backblast can possibly hit. That being a person, a vehicle, a solid piece of structure. So
yeah, a wall.
A concrete wall will rebound the backblast.
I see motherfuckers do that all the time.
A
fire fucking AT4 being up against a wall and knock themselves out with a backblast.
Anything that's going to be in the way, it's going to stop us from firing it. So Sergeant Loster has yelled clear backblast. I've looked behind him. Let's just say that I'm a fucking random guy that has no idea what the fuck's going on. I'm standing here. It's now my job to yell at him to tell him to get the fuck out of the way because about to take out a piece of armor with the 84 and he is obstructing us. So once he's got out of the way, Sergeant Loster will then say, I will then say to Sergeant Loster, backblast not clear. I'll clear it. He'll then yell again to clear the backblast. Yep. After the second audible command, I'll check again, make sure that guy hasn't wandered back or it's.
Your player ID should be under your profile, I believe.
There you go. It is that fucking simple. As soon as you say backblast is clear, Sergeant Loster is ready to fucking go. The last audible command he'll yell is rocket. Rocket basically means that rocket going out. Some people say rocket rocket. Yeah, so that's the last thing you yell before you pull the trigger is rocket. As soon as you get the, the confirmation that your backblast is clear, fucking don't hesitate, fire. And that is pretty much it. It's a really simple process.
Hey, Billy.
So Private Lordy, I'm gonna have you fire first and Private Kerry range, and then just swap over. You can pick any piece of armor you want out here, so you don't have to fire at the same one if you don't want to.
Yeah, I
Private
don't
Kerry
remember
should
where it is
spot
by
me,
default.
so
Because one, the UI has changed since I did it, and two, it's been like almost 3 years since I had to get my EID, so I don't remember where the hell it's at. I believe he did cope. I don't remember for sure.
Range, please.
2, 3, 4.
Clear back.
Even if he didn't, I told him to fucking
Backblast
an
9.
hour ago when we were in the classroom.
Clear back blast.
Backblast clear.
Rocket.
Hey, good hit.
Good hit. Alright.
No, the auto drop script is fucking messed up. It causes an error.
Yeah, if you, like First Line said earlier, once you fired the 84, that's it, it's done. You can't use it again, it's dead weight, drop it. If you're carrying an empty 84 around, you're just gonna fucking annoy people if you need to use it, and then you end up saying, oh shit, I fired this about half an hour ago. Always make sure you drop it.
Hey, Stingray.
3. Target bearing 110.
Loster's about to get hit with backblast.
It's the range.
Range 205.
Clear backblast.
Backblast clear.
Rocket.
There you go, good shit. Don't worry about these Vics not cooking off, they're a little bit broken right now, and they're not cooking off they should be, but you guys both hit, you were both on target, which is fucking great. Any questions regarding the rangefinders or the AT4s?
Sergeant Loster, how are you feeling medically? Use your big boy voice.
I'm in pain
You're in pain. Why are you in pain?
because the backblast was not clear.
Because the backblast wasn't clear, because apparently Helen fucking Keller was spotting for you. There was very clearly someone standing directly behind that fucking tube. Do not make that fucking mistake again.
Yes, for Sergeant.
Alright. Fortunately, we don't have time to sit out here all fucking day firing rockets, so the next thing we're going to do is head over to the rifle range and go over the rifle systems that we've talked about earlier. So, follow me. Fucking dumbass. People wonder why I'm always in a bad fucking mood. Yeah, Stingray, there was more, but they couldn't unfuck their mods. Alright. Firstly, we're going to be going over different rates of fire for the weapon systems. First one we're going to cover is the M4 because it's what we all carry standard issue. So, there are 3 different rates of fire. There's sustained, rapid, and cyclic. Now for the M4, a sustained rate of fire consists of a single round every 2 to 3 seconds. It is used for targets beyond 250 meters. Alright, so quick example of a sustained rate of fire would sound something like this. Now a rapid rate of fire is essentially doubling that, used for targets inside of 250 meters. This is where generally you're going to come across what is known as a double tap. Alright, put 2 rounds in their chest. So, 2 rounds every 2 to 3 seconds, going to sound something like this. Now a cyclic rate of fire, again, essentially doubling that, so you're going to put out 3 to 5 rounds every 2 to 3 seconds. You're going to achieve that by flipping what we call the fun switch. That will be taking your M4 from semi-automatic to fully automatic firing mode. Now a cyclic rate of fire is not just holding down the fucking trigger and letting her eat. You fire it in bursts, like I said, 3 to 5 rounds. This is used for targets that are danger close. Essentially, they are right fucking on top of you. Now, a cyclic rate of fire with the M4 sounds something like this. As long as I hit the switch. Now, a cyclic rate of fire like that is used out in the open. Alright, this is one thing that need to, I guess, clarify. And something that we'll go over more when we go over MOUT and CQB. When you're inside of a building, you're not firing in a burst. Alright, you fire as many rounds as it takes to get the fucking job done. So when you go to breach into a building, you have the fun switch flipped, you just pump rounds into the motherfucker until he drops. You do not fire a 3 to 5 round burst, wait a couple seconds, and then fire 3 to 5 more rounds at him. This is used for when you're out in the open. Alright, you guys understand that?
Yes, sir, Sergeant.
I got 1 yes, so I'm guessing one of you doesn't fucking understand that.
Yes, for Sergeant.
There we go. Any questions on the 3 rates of fire for the M4?
No,
Nope.
for Sergeant.
Alright, stand by. Alright, next weapon system we're going to go over is the SAW. A SAW is a light machine gun. Machine guns all use the same rates of fire. It's still sustained, rapid, and cyclic. However, obviously, as we talked about earlier, you fire the machine guns in bursts, so it works a little bit differently. A sustained rate of fire with a machine gun consists of a 3 to 5 round burst every 2 to 3 seconds. Alright, so it would sound something like this. A rapid rate of fire, again, doubling it. So you got 5 to 10 rounds every 2 to 3 seconds. Sounds something like this. Now a cyclic rate of fire, again, doubling it, used for when guys are up close. Now obviously doubling that 5 to 10 rounds, you're going to be throwing a lot of fucking lead down range. Alright, so this is again used when guys are right fucking there. So a cyclic rate of fire for the SAW, going to sound something like this. Alright, any questions on that?
No, for
No,
Sergeant.
for Sergeant.
Alright. Now, one of the techniques used by machine gunners is a technique known as talking guns. Right, talking guns is a situation where you'll set up 2 machine guns. For example, one machine gun on the left, one machine gun on the right. We'll refer to them simply as left gun and right gun, right? So, this is a way to achieve a higher rate of fire while consuming less ammo individually. Alright, so the left gun and the right gun are going to both fire at a sustained rate of fire. However, with both of them firing, they essentially achieve a rapid rate of fire. So left gun fires his 3 to 5 round burst. While he's pausing for that couple of seconds, right gun fires his 3 to 5 round burst. And they go back and forth until the left gun needs to reload. He'll call reloading. Right gun will then increase his rate of fire to a rapid rate of fire to make up for left gun being down. Once left gun calls gun up, right gun will reload. Left gun is going to maintain a rapid rate of fire until right gun calls gun up, and then they both fall back into a sustained rate of fire. Alright, you're essentially having a conversation, hence talking guns. Now you can do this with 2, 4, fucking 18 machine guns. Doesn't matter. As long as guys are paying attention to who fired before, and when they need to fire, you can carry that right on down an entire fucking engagement line of machine guns. Now the thing to keep in mind with these rates of fire: ammo conservation. All right, we go out into the field with a finite amount of ammo. We are never guaranteed a resupply. So you have to keep in mind, if you go out there full battle rattle with 12 magazines, that could be all the ammo you have for the entire operation. And you could be heavily engaged for the entire 2 to 3 hours that we're out there. You have to conserve your ammo and use it smart. You also have to keep in mind, you are not the only fucking rifle in the fight. We do not fight fair. If there's a single fucking dude out there with an AK-47, we're going to put 5 guys on target with M4s. If there's a single PKM gunner out there, we're going to put an entire fucking squad on them. More rifles we can put in the fight, the better. So to relate that, in a rifle squad, you have 10 individuals, 8 M4s and 2 saws. If all 10 individuals are engaging the same target at a sustained rate of fire, that is a literal wall of lead flying at that target. You do not need to have a high rate of fire to achieve effective fire. Is that understood?
Yes, First Sergeant.
Alright. Any questions on the 2 weapon systems that we have covered?
No.
No, First Sergeant.
Alright. What we're going to do now, I'm going to give you guys about 10 mics of range time. Back there behind you, or off to my left, is a Connex box. That Connex box is an arsenal. You are clear to try out any of the weapon systems in that arsenal. However, do not, I say again, do not fire any fucking HE on my rifle range. That means do not try and fire an AT4. Do not try and fire a fucking thumper on my rifle range. Is that understood?
Yes, for sure.
Yes, First Sergeant.
Alright, each one of you take one of these shooting bays. Again, you can use any one of those weapon systems, practice your rates of fire, get comfortable with those weapon systems. Range is now hot. Oh, shit. And yes, it does feel bad to run out of ammo. I've only ever run out of ammo once. And when that happened, I ran out of ammo on the way to the extract bird, so... Alright, I will be right back, guys. Yoda-esque. Yoda-esque, you mean they talk like a fucking idiot and they're a little green dude, or that they can move shit with their mind? Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Oh, it's the Hammers, man. Hammer, I see you're down there talking to Frankels. I thought he was fucking dead. How they looking? Well, they're not Crayolas, but alright. Oh, I'm guessing Sphero's had that fucking conversation a couple times. Drum, you are aware you're capable of telling him yourself, right? He's, in TeamSpeak. However, you are not. Probably because you're, you know, sick. You're a little bitch. Okay, I'm sick. I hear a fucking boomstick, yep. Who the fuck is that? That's not one of them. Oh, it's Lost her. Fucking lost her. We'll never see him again. Yeah, probably. Oh, Jesus Christ, here we go again with the fucking Star Citizen dudes. If you're gonna get Star Citizen, just use hammers so he stops fucking whining. Shop smart. Shop that smart. Buying a javelin. Is a javelin bigger than what you already fucking have? I think the one you have now is bigger than the last one, isn't it? I got fucking lost on the last one. 30, a 506 organization, I have no idea. I know exactly fuck all about it. Saying is there's a chance. Well, I haven't heard him fucking go crazy with the rates of fire, so that's good. I'm already there. Hammer, you need to stay around to see my end credits. Yeah, pretty much. Has it been 10 minutes yet? Feels like it's been 10 minutes. Close enough. Alright, ceasefire, 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 rally on me. Condition your fucking weapons. Alright. Guys feel like you have a basic understanding of the different rifles that we use?
Yes, sir, Sergeant.
Yes, sir, Sergeant.
Alright. Fortunately, we do not have the time to sit out here all fucking day at the rifle range. Wish we did, but we don't. Either of you have any questions about anything that we have covered today?
No, First Sergeant.
No, First Sergeant.
Alright. Then that is going to be the end of your day 1 of 1-station unit training. I will be back at it tomorrow, same time. Alright, make sure you are on time. Don't know what on time means? It means you're 15 fucking minutes early. Make sure you are on time and ready to go. Tomorrow is a big day. You are going to have a fuck ton of information thrown at you. Be ready to take notes. Now, from this point on, I am your direct chain of command. If you have any problems, questions, concerns, whatever, you bring it to me. You send me a message on the forums. If for some reason I do not get back to you within 48 hours, then you can contact Sergeant Myers. I can tell you now, if you contact Sergeant Myers, the first thing he is going to ask you is, did you contact the first sergeant? If your answer is no, his response will be to tell you to fuck off. You come to me first, and me only, unless I do not respond. Then you can go to Sergeant Myers. Very simply, you do not go to the company fucking commander asking questions about mods. Is that understood?
Yes, sir, Sergeant.
Alright, that's it. You're dismissed. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon. Fuck out of here. Alright guys, that is gonna be it. Hopefully you enjoyed today. I don't know why the fuck most of you guys watch this, because it's just like 2 hours of me talking, but whatever. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out today. All the support, the new follows, and so on. I don't have anything else planned for the rest of the day. I don't know, may end up playing something, we'll see. But don't have anything planned for the rest of today. Tomorrow we got day 2 of OSUT, and then the FTX for Task Force Alpha. So hopefully you guys will be able to join me for that, and I will see you all later.